Welcome back to another episode of Playing Around Wisconsin. This journey began in late 2024, and 2025 promises to take you to new places around the state, hopefully inspiring you to see them for yourself. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Playing Around Wisconsin. Hello everybody, welcome again to another episode of Playing Around Wisconsin. Coming to you this morning from Pine Meadow Golf Course in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It's a short par 3 course, but one that is definitely worth checking out. So follow along, should be a quick one here this morning, and we'll have some fun. Pine Meadow Golf Club is located right by Fairfax Park in Eau Claire. There's a small practice green located right next to the clubhouse and pro shop, and if you need it, you can rent a cart to ride around on the course. Pine Meadow also has a full-service restaurant and bar, so this is a great place to socialize as well as work on your game. If I lived closer to here, I could definitely see myself hanging out having a few beers on the patio after playing a quick 9 holes. The longest hole on the course is only 155 yards, so you're probably not going to need a lot of clubs when you make it out here. The first hole at Pine Meadow was the longest. With the road running parallel to the hole on the left, this hole can get really tricky really quickly. Right off the bat, it's worth mentioning that the teeing areas at Pine Meadow were not in the best shape. I refused to let that bother me and took it as an added challenge going into the round. The greens at Pine Meadow 2 were the slowest of any I've played in recent memory. However, they had grounds crew out there mowing, so that might be a different circumstance when you get out there to play. The second hole is nestled up against the backyards of some homes. It looks like the owners have made the intelligent choice of putting some nets up just to keep their property protected. Thankfully, they didn't need it for me, but I did slap my wedge a little too hard, a little too low on the face, bladed it well over the green. This is the shortest hole on the course, but missing it long is going to make it really difficult as the green slopes pretty sharply from back to front. It's a little bit of a hike from hole 2 to 3, but when you get there you will see a green similar to the other ones, very, very small, and with a good amount of back to front slope on it. I had teed off at about 9:30 on a Friday morning, and there was still some moisture left over from the watering that had been done, and what had resulted was a pretty bumpy putt here back down the slope, as you can see it hopping and jumping and skipping all the way to the cup. So if you get out here and miss a few putts that you might normally make, don't take it too personally. On to the fourth hole at 147 yards. This is probably one of the most protected greens on the course. The green is pretty well surrounded by trees, and just like the rest of the greens on this course, it's a small one to shoot at. A miss long or left will leave you a tougher chip shot, and even with the greens being longer and slower, it is still difficult to get the ball to stop without rolling out too far, especially if you blade your wedge like I did. So I wound up having an uphill putt for par, which isn't so bad, but it was a lot longer than I would have wanted it to be. I did not get a chance to play the fifth hole as the grounds crew was about halfway done with mowing the green. But at 108 yards and a small green, it's kind of wash, rinse, repeat around here. Not a bad thing, but just a lot of the same or similar kind of look. So the sixth hole, a little bit longer for this course, was into the breeze and made it for a little bit more of a tough shot for me. I've been struggling a lot with my short irons and missing shots that I otherwise normally would think I'd hit, but spraying things around a little bit. I was really excited to be able to play Pine Meadow as part of my journey here today. So, the 7th hole, as you can see, the 8th hole's green as well. The sprinklers were still running when I made it to these holes. Now, normally I don't mind a little bit of adventure, but I was really hoping to not soak myself as I had 18 holes planned ahead for me after I finished up here at Pine Meadow. Didn't do myself a lot of favors as I left the ball directly in the line of the sprinkler, but doing some dodging and ducking and dipping and diving, I'll just stop talking and let you watch what happens. Barely got a drop on me. The 8th hole runs up along the backside of the pro shop and the patio area. I can see myself playing this hole with my friends sitting on top of that patio chirping at me, making fun of me, or vice versa, me doing it to one of my buddies trying to tee off on the hole too. Maybe not TPC Scottsdale type party vibes, but definitely some party vibes on this hole if given the right circumstances. With another small green, precision is important here, just like everywhere else on this course. Finishing at right about 100 yards from both of the tees, the 9th hole gave me another green that I could not hit. Barely hit a single green in regulation out here today. So this round was pretty frustrating in confirming that I need a lot of work with my wedges and my short game. Despite the fact that I chipped in through a sprinkler and just about jarred this one here to finish. Regardless of which, it was a fun way to end the round. From teeing off on the 1st and tapping this in on the 9th, it only took me about 40 minutes start to finish. All in all, I'm extremely jealous of the people of Eau Claire. If we had a place like this in La Crosse, I'd probably be there at least once a week. Whether it be to practice my golf game or have a few drinks and some food, I could see myself being a regular here at Pine Meadow. So if you're ever in the area, have some time on your hands and a few clubs with you, come check out Pine Meadow Golf Club. I think you'll have a good time too. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Playing Around Wisconsin. Your likes, subscriptions, your comments are all incredibly helpful for me, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again.